Today we are going to talk about handleless kitchens. By handleless kitchens, there are a variety of notions in the society and people have variety of thoughts about it. Some just don't want the traditional handles, some want it to be minimum, some want it not to be protruding outside, and some don't want them at all. So to solve these all queries, we have divided this video into several sections. First would be why to have or why not to have handles, and then we will be talking about what are aluminum profiles, and then we will be talking about type of aluminum profiles, and at last we'll be talking about what is a truly handleless kitchen. Hi, my name is Praveen, and without any further ado, let's jump into the video. So let's start with why no handles at all. The term no handle or handleless came from the traditional handles because they were boring or they were not suiting the modern interiors as such. But it is not the case at many times. There are many designs in traditional handles also that looks good. But it is not of today's topic. Today we are discussing mainly about why and what varieties you have in handleless kitchens. So let's talk about it now. Before starting to understand what are handleless kitchens, you will need to know about what are aluminum profiles. Aluminum profiles are generally aluminum casted sections which are used as handles inside a kitchen or any other furniture. So I have a sample here with me, and this is a specific sample of a G-section handle. I'll explain you what is a G-section handle later on, but it is a profile cut into a 5-inch length, but it comes into around 10 feet length, and it is cut and fitted according to the size of the shutter or the drawer. And then later on you have variety of finishes available in this, like chrome, rose gold, aluminum matte finish, gold, black, and SS matte finish. So there are a variety of options, so you will not feel that there are less options in this. So it is a good thing to have. Now we'll talk about how they are fitted on the shutters, but before showing you how they are fitted, I would like to show you how they are named first of all. So this is a profile you are able to see, but there is a cross section to it. So sometimes they are called aluminum section profiles. So this is an aluminum section profile handle, correct? So if you are getting it correctly, this is a section of the aluminum profile and which is be using it as a handle. So if you can see, it is a G-shaped section, so it is a G profile handle. And later on I will be talking about variety of handles similar to this. So I'll just show you how it's fitted first. Now if you see this, there is some element at the bottom which is not designer. Maybe this is seeming to be a designer part, but this is not. This goes inside the edge of your shutter like this, and then it is fitted on the shutter either this way or this way or this way. It can be fitted anyhow, but the main point is that it flushes with the level of the shutter. Then it makes your kitchen to be handleless. So this is the major role it plays. Let's now talk about what are the type of sections we have. Let's first talk about G-section handle. As I showed you the sample, the G-section is shaped like a G, and it can be fitted on majority of the sides of a shutter so that it gives a good grip and you can pull it out. So it is the most common type of handle that you will find in handleless variety, because it can be fitted on a drawer, on a shutter below platform, on the cabinets above, and the cabinets over the top, on the above the overhead storage, on the loft or the dead storage. So it is a multi-purpose product, and it can be used anyhow because its grip is comfortable for all kind of usage, like horizontally, vertically, or pulling it upside, pulling it sideways. So it is a good product to have. So the next aluminum profile handle is J-section handle. J-section is obviously named because it is shaped like J and it has a good grip downwards. G-section has the grip on the upper side of the upper lip of the handle, and J-section has on the lower lip of the handle. So this is the major difference between G and J. So what it does, it gets fitted in the bottom portion of your platform. So it is meant only for that purpose. If you try to fit in the overhead storages, it will not provide you a good result and good grip, because it will be awkward to open it. Whereas G section, it is a good multi-purpose product. J can be used only in the bottom storages, not the above storages. Now let's see the next profile handle, L profile. The L profile is quite similar to J profile, and the application is also very similar. Its grip is also the same as the J profile on the lower lip of the handle. But the major difference between these two is that you have an option to stick the laminate, that is the outside material of your shutter or the drawer, to paste it the inside of the handle. Like the visible portion of the handle gets hidden off into your external finish. So it quite becomes invisible on all the surfaces of the shutter, and it is a good option to have for the lower platform shutters, but not on the overhead storages similar to J. So the basic difference is only the look of the handle as compared to J, otherwise it is almost similar. Next handle is F section handle. F section handle is very similar to G, J and L as compared to their fitting perspective, like it is fitted on the edges only, but it is not very similar in terms of design. F profile is generally fitted on the top or the sides of the shutter, but it protrudes outside. As you can see, it is coming outside of the shutter and it giving it a curve to hold it and open the shutter. But it is not very much recommended if you are choosing a handleless kitchen, just because it should not protrude outside, because in this case it will come outside from the shutter level. Also, it has a less grip compared to all the other types of handles. It is also less suitable for the top overhead storages and the loft storages, and especially for hydraulic storages. So these were the types of aluminum section handles for kitchen. Now we will be talking about true handleless experience. When I am saying true handleless experience, I mean that the handles or the profiles or any kind of equipment which is not fitted on the shutter itself or the door itself or the drawer itself. It is hidden somewhere else, so that to give you a better experience, a truly handleless experience. So let's have a look them one by one. To create truly handleless experience, the first and the basic option that we have is chamfered edge shutters. In these, what we do is cut the edge of the shutters in 45° and provide a small amount of gap between the shutter and the structure, which will provide you a grip to open the shutter. So this is the very common thing to do. Even a carpentry made kitchen can be made like this. But there is a slight problem to it. If your kitchen is made in laminate and it is not edge bended, in our modular factory we do it edge bended, but in some case if you are doing in carpentry and you have stick laminate on all the edges, then it will be too blunt and sharp. But if you have made it in acrylic, then it will be modular only, definitely, so it will not have that problem. Another problem could be that it will provide you less grip overall, because it is too slant to hold it properly, and sometimes to open heavy drawers it is too less grip. Next we will be talking about Gola profile handles. These profiles are very commonly used today and can be found at many hardware stores. But what is it exactly? It's a kind of profile that is not fitted on your shutters but inside the cabinet, on the structure of the storage. It allows us to create a gap between the shutter and the structure, so that we can have a grip of the shutter and pull it off, so that it is easy to open. These Gola profiles are fitted along the length of the kitchen, that is horizontally. But it is not a technical issue. You can also fit them vertically and use them, but it is not meant for that purpose. These Gola profiles come in two section shapes, C and J. The C-shaped Gola profile is slightly bigger in height, while the J is slightly smaller, just because of their usage and their purpose. The J1, it is used for a single shutter or single drawer, while the C shape is used for dual purpose. This is the most common type of handleless options available in the market, and we also recommend them in most of the cases. But there is a small problem to it. because it is fitted on the structure itself or inside the cabinet. It takes up that amount of space inside of the cabinet and it is fixed. It cannot be moved. As I already said, it is not pasted on the shutter. It is pasted on the cabinet. So whenever you open the shutter or the cabinet, that amount of space is wasted. So next handleless option available is edge profiles. So once again, this is a kind of profile but not fitted on the shutter. This section is fitted on the lower edge of your cabinet so that it provides you a niche at the bottom of the cabinet so that you can easily pull off the shutter. This is a good option to have in the overhead storages and it is specially made for that only. It is taken in a combination with Gola. Like if you have taken Gola profile below and you don't have an option to take Gola profile on the overhead storages, then you can take a edge profile in the overhead storages. But as there are two parts of an overhead storage, the lower half and the top half, the lower half has an open bottom, so it can be easily fit in. In the top half of the overhead storage, the bottom is hidden, so the edge profile cannot be fitted. If you want to fit in, then the overhead storage, the loft storage has to be protruded outside. In similar cases, if you want to avoid these edge handles, there is also an option which we give is to lower the shutter itself little downwards. This also works in the overhead storage only where the bottom part is visible. What we do, we increase the height of the overall shutter downwards so it provides you a good grip to open it. So now let's look at push open shutters. By push open, you must have understood that whenever you push a shutter, it opens up automatically. It is a very good option when you don't want handles at all and you don't want a profile also. But it has some problems, we will be discussing that later on. First, let's see how it works. It has a small push open magnet fitted on the cabinet of inside the shutter, and then whenever you push it, the magnet throws the shutter off its original position so you can access the shutter. This is a traditional push open magnet and you have variety of options available in variety of strengths, but this always doesn't work well. Like at some point of time you need to push it 2 to 3 times to open or close it, so it doesn't work well. But there are better options in this. Like some companies like Hafele, Bloom provide a good option to it, but they are slightly expensive. What they do is they provide a good mechanism to push open shutters. They have a similar kind of a magnet which pulls off the shutter, but their mechanism is so good that it works almost every time. The only downfall is that it is a quite expensive range, but it works for drawers as well, for shutters and for big shutters also. So it is a good option to have. So this was all about handleless kitchens. If you have any doubts regarding this or have any other suggestion or have any question regarding to this, then you can reach us out in the comments and we will be happy to answer it. If you want interior to do your next home interior project or modular kitchen, then please reach us out. We have given the link in the description. Before leaving, don't forget to check out these videos. This is for SS baskets and tandem basket comparison, and this is for the top kitchen accessories that are available. And don't forget to subscribe.